is part 4 of the 4-part series to help you design the best workshop for a digital audience. During our 2020 Solutions for Individual Homeless Adults conference, roughly half of the people attending came from provider nonprofits and homeless system leadership. Another quarter were from federal, state, or local agencies. These statistics can help you tailor the goal of your workshop, but it's important to keep in mind another, often invisible subpopulation, your neurodiverse and disabled attendees. Neurodiverse is a term that describes individuals with learning and thinking differences, such as autism, ADHD, dyslexia, dyspraxia, as well as many other neurological states. Disabled audience members, such as those with hearing and vision impairments, including colorblindness, have specific needs in order to receive the same information as their able-bodied peers. While the National Alliance to End Homelessness doesn't ask attendees to identify if they are neurodivergent or disabled, you should assume that you will have a neurodiverse and disabled audience. What does this mean for your presentation? In part 2, we talked about cognitive load and how that affects your audience. Busy slides and blocks of text will send your neurodiverse watchers into cognitive overload more quickly than your neurotypical watchers. The way you design your presentation may make your information inaccessible to your disabled watchers. In order to make your workshop accessible to everyone, here are a few tips to keep in mind. Tip 1. Make your slides extra readable. Many neurodiversities and disabilities make it difficult to read. Choose fonts with distinct letter shapes. Choosing a large word size will make your text easier to read, and you'll be forced to be brief. Tip 2. Choose your colors carefully. Colors have their own informational weight. Bright colors, low contrast, and high density of color can all contribute to cognitive load. Stick to neutral backgrounds like white or a low-intensity black, and make sure your text is in a contrasting color. You can make lists more visible by separating bullets into different colors. Speaking of color, did you know there are up to 8 different types of color blindness? When choosing which colors to use, keep in mind that not everyone will see them the same way as you, and in fact, other people might see no difference in your colors at all. This is especially important for graphs and charts. You can check your color selection with handy online color blindness simulators. Tip 3. Icons are better than words. People with neurodiversities and disabilities may have a tough time reading and listening at the same time. Cut your audience a break by using icons instead of words whenever you can. Images are both easier to identify and easier to remember. Tip 4. Speak clearly. Last but not least, make sure you are speaking clearly and slowly. Many people with neurodiversities or disabilities such as hearing impairments will have trouble following your presentation if you speak too quickly or softly. Make sure you are facing your camera so those who rely on lip reading can see what you are saying. We will provide closed captioning for your workshop, but remember that reading closed captions won't work for everyone. Finally, make sure you briefly describe any image or graph on your slides for those with vision impairments, so everyone in your audience gets the same information. You may notice that a lot of these tips are not just helpful for neurodiverse and disabled viewers. In fact, when we make sure our spaces are accessible to those with different neurologies and disabilities, we often make it easier for able-bodied and neurotypical people as well. Celebrate the diversity of people committed to ending homelessness. Let's make our conference accessible to everyone.